Hi, I'm Nina Sobell, and I'm currently living in New York City. First, I want to say thank you to Leo Kelgs for inviting me to do my own interview for international paneling. The first question he had was to tell me a little bit about my background and some highlights. So I will. My background is in sculpture and video as an art student at Tyler School of Art in Philadelphia and Rome, and at Cornell, where I did the first MFA thesis in video in 1971. A couple of years later, after moving to Venice, California, and making camera as audience-only performances, like glass breaking, where I broke shards of glass and mirror without eye protection, I created the first interactive video brainwave drawings in collaboration with systems engineer Mike Trivich. It was an installation visualizing the nonverbal communication between two people. As they emitted the same brainwaves, a circle formed, and that was simultaneously superimposed over their faces, creating their internal and external real-time portraits. It was done at Dr. Barry M. Sturman's neuropsychology lab at the VA hospital in Sepulveda, California in 1974, where it was scientifically proven. I then installed it at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Houston and other museums until the last one was at the Getty in 2008. But a new one is going to be in Karlsruhe at the ZKM by December, where I'm in a show there at ZKM. I'll tell you a little bit more in the last question is, what are you looking forward to? And I'm looking forward to that, but I'll get back to that later. In 1977, we'll go back in order of highlights. In 1977, I was invited by Joseph Beuys to present Video Phone Voyeur at Documenta 6. It was an interactive window street installation at the Acme Gallery in London. According to him, it was a social sculpture, and that's why he sponsored my trip there, where we met daily at lunchtime with other artists from his Free International University. I also presented brainwave drawings. Another first window piece highlight was in 1981, when I made an installation called 6 Moving Cameras, 3 Conversion Views for Franklin Furnace Gallery. There were 3 pairs of adjustable moving cameras with 3 split-screen monitors inside their storefront window and inside their storefront window. And inside the gallery was 1 monitor displaying all 3 split screens. Nam June-paik loved it and called the art director of Blade Runner when it was being made about it. It didn't work out, but he did. Anyway, I also did several performances with raw roaster chickens, including Chicken on Foot, 1974, Hey Baby Chickie in late 1978, and Into the Pot You Go, coupled with Murder with Mother, based on my real-life experiences, in 1982, at the Los Angeles Contemporary Exhibition Space, otherwise known as LACE in LA. How do these seemingly disparate works link together? Well, according to Christina Albu, who wrote Intimate Connections, Alternative Communication, Threads, in Nina Sobell's Performances and Installations, 1974 to 1982 is about me seeking intimate connections. The article, which appeared in the journal Camera Obscura in 2020, is also a highlight. More firsts highlight the following years when, in 1991 and 1993, I was artist in residence at NYU's ITP program, where I first did a call-in, where I did the first call-in cable talk show, where people gained access to answers about AIDS using their phone. They called in, and there was a number system, and it gave you pre-recorded information about referring to the questions that were asked during the program. So it was extending the program. So many times you watch things and it goes by like that. Well, at that time, there wasn't the possibility of replay and record of TV. So this was a way of extending the program. I then became an artist in residence at NYU Center for Advanced Technology in 1994 to 1999, where I created the first telerobotic interactive cyber sculpture in 1995. For instance, when Ken Goldberg at UC Berkeley clicked on the right side or all points around the image of his monitor, I added clay to the right side and all corresponding points on an armature. This can be seen with over 80 other performances if you go to my website and click on Park Bench. I then made and Park Bench was a collective. It was a collective of artists, and mostly women. We did the first performances, cyber performances. I then made one of the first mobile webcam interactive installations. Alice sat here at the Code Show at the Rico Maresca Gallery in New York. People on the street directed Alice's eye, which was the camera, by touching pads and circling a monitor in the front window, which displayed their image superimposed on the interior of the gallery. Via a tiny surveillance camera sewn into a Queen of Hearts card at the 12 o'clock position. As they peered into the monitor, as passers-by peered into the monitor, making them feel a part of the show, because so many people are disenfranchised from going into a gallery. They might walk in and they might walk by a gallery and they look in and they don't feel that it's a place for them to go in. And this was a way of inviting the public to be a part of what was going on inside. And as they peered into the monitor, making them feel a part of the show. People on the web, like Colin Goldberg did in Boston, could also direct Alice's eye, the camera, by clicking around the image on his monitor. Much the same as when I did the sculpture, the armature, and the remote control, telerobotically controlled sculpture in cyberspace. So it went from a fixed camera to the mobile camera, and I believe it's one of the very first mobile webcams. Certainly the first telerobotically controlled mobile webcam. And but I looked it up and I couldn't find any other, just to let you know. Okay, I will jump now to 2015, 16, and 17 to mention 3 videos I made in collaboration with Laura Ortman as being highlights because of the intensity and the mindfulness and the meaningfulness of the experience in making each. The titles are The White Mountain Apache Territory subliminal, and gray matters. Laura did the sound and I did the visuals. They were commissioned by Leo Kells, who also paired me with Laura. Question 2. You do more than just video art. Can you tell us about other mediums you work in and how the different mediums interact with each other? Well, I make sculptures in clay that are cast in bronze or fired in a kiln. I also create digital images which are made into prints, folios, NFTs, or simply remain as digital images. And very short videos, too, where I often animate still frames using different apps. Drawings and paintings often accompany these or remain as such. I incorporate the sculptures into my animations, drawing upon their emotional attributes. Question 3. How do you think your work and art in general can make a positive impact on the greater scene in these challenging times? And what are you looking forward to? Now I am concentrating on the nonverbal communication between animals and humans. My emphasis is upon our interdependence and deep association with all living things, especially with animals, as being tantamount to our existence as a species. The current advances in science and field dynamics support my belief as an artist that all living entities are already communicating non-verbally with each other, and that we, as humans, are just becoming aware of this ability. In my artistic practice, I have explored joining with all forms of life telepathically. As an animal lover, I was horrified to read that the animal population across the world has shrunk by an average of 69% between 1970 and 2018. 69% has shrunk. I shudder to think about man's inhumanity to man and animals that has occurred throughout time. I was recently nominated for the American Academy of Arts Rome Prize, where I look forward to continuing my present project, Cross-Species Connectivity, which explores the place where humans and animals merge. By making hybrid portraits of humans fused with animals, I hope to bring attention to our commonalities and the natural neural connections across species. Hopefully, they may help in healing the relationship between human and non-human animals. And perhaps human-to-human relationships can be healed too. I am also looking forward to Renaissance 3.0 opening at ZKM in Karlsruhe. A research and exhibition project, Renaissance 3.0 is a base camp for new alliances of art and science in the 21st century. It traces an arc from the Arab and Italian Renaissance to the media art of the 21st century, with reference to a third Renaissance in art, curated by Peter Weibel, rest in peace, and Annette Holzeit, Sarah Dondurer, Nina Lechty, and Beatrice Zadenberg. And I'm also looking forward to a Zoom presentation by Franklin Furness's Loft program about park bench performance art on the internet, 1994 to 1999, on September 7th, coming up, not so far away. And I'm also looking forward to going to ZKM to do an installation that a brainwave drawing installation with an artist in Lisbon. I'm going to be talking with her tomorrow, and she's in, and we had a meeting with a neuroscientist and an electronics engineer and Mike Trivich out in LA, and RJ in Toronto, he's a composer, and we're working on a new brainwave installation, a worldwide installation, and I'm very excited about that. And something else, oh yeah, Media Art Histories. Christina Albu, who wrote the article in the Camera Obscura, submitted a paper to the Media Art Histories panel, and they chose it, and I'll be going to Venice right after the September 7th Zoom. The panel meets September 13th through the 15th or through the 19th. And so I'll be there for that presentation. So I'm looking forward to that. So there's lots happening. And I thank you very much, Leo, for this opportunity of talking about myself. And with that, I say goodbye.